Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look on the Boxeo TM Torres Medina HHF boxing gloves. So check it out. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look of the Boxeo TM Torres Medina HHF boxing gloves. Got mine in 16-ounce lace-ups in the white and fuchsia colorway. This glove retails for $229 US. Once you convert it over from Mexican pesos, you can find this particular colorway and style on the Boxeo TM website as well as others. If you're interested in checking these out, I'll put the link below in the description box so you can see for yourself. So let's go ahead and get this box cut open and take a look at the gloves. Now these are going to be the first pair, or should I say the first Boxeo TM gloves I'm getting in the HHF style of padding. So HHF is simply horsehair and foam. So essentially, well, the way it's described on the Boxeo TM website from Juan is that they are essentially 2 layers of foam padding of different densities, maybe like an open cell and a closed cell foam, plus horsehair, which is going to give you that nice pop and feedback. Me personally, I've always been a fan of horsehair gloves, so this is going to be my first time trying this out. These are also gloves that Juan has also said that they've made some improvements on, both in terms of the quality and just the overall fit and feel with the gloves. If you guys have seen my reviews in the past on Boxeo TM, I've always been impressed with their gloves. So I was really excited for this particular pair. I have the box open, nothing too crazy there. One thing to note one thing I like that companies do is when they put an extra piece of cardboard on top of the gloves. So if you happen to cut the gloves with a knife and you go a little bit too deep, you don't end up cutting the gloves. You end up having this layer of cardboard, and I wish that all companies would do that when they ship their gloves out. So, but if by accident you go too deep with the knife, you don't end up cutting your gloves. You have this extra layer of cardboard in there. So good for that. Now here are the gloves. Just a beautiful looking glove. They're white with that kind of fuchsia and kind of like an aqua blue metallic. So it looks really good. I got this colorway just because I don't have anything like it, and kind of being a little adventurous when it comes to the colorways I choose. They did have some black and golds, like a black and white, which looked good as well, but these ones really stood out, so I decided to go with this colorway. So let's go ahead and pull the right glove out. You see it looks amazing, and with the glove as well. Throw everything to the side. And there you have it, just a beautiful looking glove. Obviously, goes without saying, full leather construction, and it does have a triple striped thumb as well as palm. Very unique looking. The colors are metallic on here, so one thing that Torres Medina started doing was they really put a lot of detail into the gloves, but especially the embroidery. I really love the embroidery that they put on the back of the glove. It's not a label, and it's not like a screen printed graphic. It's actually stitched into the glove, which I feel gives it a more premium look and feel. So it says Torres Medina, made in Mexico, with their Torres Medina logo. The white leather on here does kind of have a semi-gloss finish, and has a looks like to be some type of water repellent type of maybe like coating over the gloves. Similar to what you see with other Mexican brands, Grant does it as well, where they put some type of coating, as well as Reyes. You do have a triple wrist support on the back of the cuff, and one thing you'll notice about the wrist support on the back is that it's a little bit more on the flat side when it comes to that. It's not like these overly bulging, rounded out wrist support. This has a little bit more of a flat look to it. Rotating to the palm side, you also have that aqua blue, as well as the white in the middle, as well as that fuchsia pink. Again, the blue and that fuchsia is a metallic color. Kind of curious on how well this holds up to training, as well as obviously sweating and moisture. I'd guess to say that it'll probably wear out quicker like they usually do with metallic than solid colors, but that's just something I'm used to. Looks like you have some ventilated holes on the thumb as well as underneath and above the grip bar right there. The grip bar is nice and thick as well as very dense, so that feels good. The padding on here, it does actually feels a little bit more on the firm side, maybe firm to medium density. You know, it's definitely not as like soft feeling. I know you guys are gonna ask, and eventually I'll do a comparison video between these and the Bayonetta PUL HH gloves, because that's one that you guys have been asking about, but it'll take me a little bit of time because I have to use these first. But from my initial impressions, these definitely feel firmer than the Bayonetta gloves in terms of just the overall feel over the knuckle area. Laces on here, nothing too crazy. Long flat laces with plastic tips at the end. So you have that, and pretty much the same on both gloves. The wrist support on the back, let me go on the left glove again, I'd say is about an inch of medium density foam padding on the back. You also have the weight tag that says 16 ounces. One thing I like about this weight tag is that it doesn't just feel like a little piece of cloth. It's actually kind of, almost feels like it's like a piece of leather or some type of synthetic material like pleather, but it's not like a little piece of nylon. It actually has a thickness to it on the weight tag, so it doesn't feel flimsy. It actually feels really nice as well. So 16 ounces right there, feels really nice and thick for that label, for the weight label. Inside liner, just like the other Boxeo TM, really nice and smooth, and it's kind of a burgundy color when it comes to the inner liner. Inside of the wrist support, again, kind of a staple of a lot of Mexican made gloves is they give you a good amount of wrist support. Again, about an inch, maybe to an inch and a quarter of medium to firm density foam right along here. So it gives you that kind of splinted like feel with that. And again, that fuchsia piping around the thumb. But a beautiful looking glove. You'll notice it also has the traditional welted seams on the outside edges of the glove. On the back of the wrist support there, on this outside edge, all throughout the thumb, underneath where the finger compartment's at, where the thumb meets the index finger, so you do have welted seams throughout. So let's go ahead and slide my hand into the glove and see how these feel. So, oh man, they feel very comfortable. So initial thoughts on sizing for a 16-ounce glove, these definitely feel more on the compact side for a 16-ounce glove. So for those of you that are wondering, kind of getting an idea in terms of sizing for a glove, if you are somebody that has larger hands, longer fingers, just someone that has bigger hands, and you know you want a compact glove but you don't want it to be uncomfortably compact, I would venture to say that 16s would be a perfect size for you. I'd say 14, 12, or anything lower than that's going to be a pretty snug fit, just because these being 16s, obviously I don't have my hand wraps on, but once I do put hand wraps on, this will definitely be a snugger fitting glove. The thumb feels perfect in terms of the positioning of the thumb. You have a good amount of padding, about an inch of padding on the back of the thumb, and the padding on the back of the thumb, let's see if we could feel it, also has kind of like I want to say it's almost like the same type of felt material that they use in the finger compartment, they use on the back of the thumb. So it doesn't just feel like a cheap piece of foam. There's foam in there, but it has like a felt layer that covers. So again, you can tell that there's an emphasis on just kind of like luxury and comfort, at least when it comes to the hand compartment. So the hand compartment feels good, no layers of inner liner like bunching up on the inside. The glove does have kind of a semi-broken in feel. They're not extremely soft. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a break-in period. It might take me several sessions to really loosen up this glove. And you'll also notice that the foam padding on here isn't super thick. So between the horse here and the 2 layers of foam they utilize in this glove, you can tell that the actual layers of it is not a very thick glove. So for those of you that want a glove that's not super, I guess you can say pillowy or thick over the knuckle area, this would probably be a good choice. Now, how that actually, kind of comes about when I start using the gloves and when it comes to the performance of it, I'll be able to tell once I start using them. But right off the bat, you can tell this it's going to give you a nice good amount of pop when you're using this, hitting the mitts or hitting the bag, so I'm excited for that. The depth of the finger compartment, it does feel a little bit more on the shallow side. The width of it feels good, so I don't feel like it's too wide or too narrow, so I don't feel like my fingers are, you know, kind of crowding each other, nor do I feel like there's a big void on the inside of the finger compartment. I feel like my hand might scoot around too much. So overall, definitely very comfortable and a snug fitting glove. So that is the left side. Let me go ahead and put the right side on. And I like to do both just to see if there's any difference in how they feel. And same thing, really nice, snug wrist support. That's one thing you'll also notice is the wrist support feels great. These are one of those gloves that, for those of you that are gonna ask, you know, hey, what's a great glove for wrist support? This definitely, you can feel it right here. It just really locks your wrist in. And the fact that that wrist support padding goes up higher, kind of like on the lower portion of your palm, really helps out. But same thing as the left glove. Thumb feels good in terms of positioning. Feels nice and parallel. It doesn't feel like the tip of the thumb collapses when I make a fist. So positioning is good. Finger compartment, again, feels a little bit on the shallow side, but comfortable, not too wide, not too narrow. So in terms of my fingers and where they're at, I don't feel like my fingers are kind of like pushing against each other like that or getting too close. Sometimes if you have gloves that are a little bit too tight in the finger compartment, you might end up getting a blister, because what ends up happening is like your fingers kind of rub on each other like that. And throughout training, if they're continually kind of like rubbing against each other, you'll end up getting sometimes, and maybe you guys have gotten this too, but I would get a blister right here on the inside part of my pinky, because my pinky would continuously kind of rub against my ring finger from me training with the glove. So I would take my gloves off, undo my hand wraps, and I would notice that there would be this kind of like this little blister, and I would just end up popping it to get the fluid out of it. But I've had that happen before. Those of you that have had that happen, you know what I'm talking about. But again, just feels really good. Has a nice compact conical feel. It feels, I mean, the best way to describe this, I'm trying to figure out, it just feels like one piece. It just feels like a really nice, rigid, solid one-piece glove. That's, once you break these in, I think these are gonna be amazing. And again, the foam padding on here, definitely more on the kind of firm side. So I'm kind of curious on how that feels. Because generally, like with horsehair gloves, typically I get the ones that are just very, very soft. So I feel like the horsehair that's integrated into this, and I'm sure Juan, when he sees this video, he'll probably chime in. I don't know if they put the horsehair on the first layer. So the layer that's closest to my hand, maybe is the horsehair, and then after that you have the 2 layers of foam padding, because there's definitely foam on this outside layer. You can tell that that is not horsehair, just basically on how consistent the feel of it is. If it was horsehair, it'd be a lot more kind of wrinkly and inconsistent. So I would venture to say that maybe he either sandwiched the horsehair between 2 pieces of foam, or the horsehair is the first layer and then you have the 2 foam layers on top of that. But yeah, overall, super impressed by these. I think they look amazing, they feel great, and I'm very excited to try these out and put them to the test, and then in a few weeks give you guys my review. So overall, I think they look amazing. If you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do, put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Boxeo TM boxing gloves, and I will see you guys later. Peace.